Hello friend, this is Ryan Angelo. Bold souls remember the truth, and right now this remembrance is about your skill as a manifester. There's something you'd like to have come into your life, isn't there? Maybe you're wanting to see a healing take place, maybe you're wanting to see an increase in wealthiness, maybe you're wanting to attract an ideal partnership or good friends, maybe you're wanting to realize more of your true nature, to recognize more of your soul's gifts and how to use them in a meaningful way. But ultimately, I'm sure we can agree on this, you're a creator. You being here on earth, especially in this day and age, is about you remembering who you are fully so that you can embody the purpose that you are and all the gifts that are woven into this purpose. You're here to create what only you can create because, quite frankly, only you are you. But, as is true of all things, those who promise you what you want to hear really fast seldom give it to you. But those who offer you what you really do want simply put the truth on the table and allow those who are aware enough to recognize it and to act on it. The Affirmation Meditation is a very powerful tool, but it's not for everyone. It's for those who have achieved a level of humility and awareness to know that there are certain factors in this world that most likely do need to change. Let's look at the 7 overlooked gems that make intentions manifest. In this introduction, I'd like to ask you a couple questions. You are aware of the laws of attraction and manifestation, yes? And you have an intention that you want to manifest, correct? And you've been working towards that outcome, of course. And you've seen glimpses that suggest you're on the right track, yeah. And yet, frustration, disappointment, confusion, something is missing. And now, because of divine timing and synchronicity, you hold a very simple document that contains less than 1,800 words, but one that contains a missing piece that you have been wondering about. The funny thing is, old friend, that generally speaking, you're getting a lot more correct than you give yourself credit for, but there's always that one little area where just a little bit more mastery is what will turn the whole thing. You're reading this right now because this is what divinely assisted manifestation looks like. It unfolds mysteriously and unexpectedly. You're looking at this document right now, and this is an indication that you're on the right track. But who am I to say this to you? I'm just some ground support ally, and I'm writing this for my soul tribe, with the knowing that it will find its way into the right hands at the right moments. The right hands belong only to those who are ready to hear, and are humble enough to listen, and they're wise enough to act when they hear truth. The right moment is divine timing, and synchronicity can only happen now, if you are present. And when present, one notices what needs to be noticed. Make no mistake, you're receiving this guidance right now, this document, because your higher guidance, which is extremely brilliant, directed you to receive this and what's contained within these pages. There exists an alliance of beings seeking sustained unconditional love, which is free of codependency or vampiric energies, freedom of life, which is free of forceful bullies, and conscious illumination, which is free of willful ignorance. This document found its way into your hands because you are part of this alliance on some level, and it may be very conscious or may be subconscious. If it's subconscious, then this is part of the wake-up call to remind you that you do, in fact, have a purpose and you're part of an interdependent, larger purpose, and thank you for that. And thus, as your capacity to manifest the reality you have envisioned is important, remember that it's not just for you, but for everyone. Everything is interdependent, so the more you embody who you truly are, the light that you are, the greatness that you are, you add value innately to everyone's lives. I've worked with many clients, friend, and what I've found consistently is those who benefit the most from the work I do with my clients are those who they love the most. Their lifestyles change, their family dynamics change. Because they have changed, they become more of who they are, and then what they desire manifests, not because they do anything differently, but because they are who they are. And right now, it's important you appreciate. And of course, it's up to you. No one's telling you what to do, but it's invited. that you understand that you have more support than you think. You have support that you have not fully accepted, and it's time right now. This document contains 7 gems that have been passed down via proven divine master guides, whom we'll simply refer to as the High Council, one of whom is the Archangel Michael, and others who truly want the best for you and don't have agendas. But I want to speak into this really fast, if we might. Before we delve in, you're asked to practice discernment. While the reality you envision would likely benefit others just as much as you, there are 3 shadow vibrations who seek only self-gain at your expense. The first seek to instill fear, force obedience, or tempt your pride. The second uses manipulation, covert seduction, or scornful, undermining tactics. And the third wants to sustain ignorance, stunt awareness, and confuse progress. Now, these 3 shadow vibrations are dying off, but they're not gone just yet. So if you felt blocked, confused, or helpless, that was just the illusion desperately trying to block you from remembering what you're about to remember via this document. So no worries. As I stated, this document contains 7 gems that are not in a specific order. Just like life moves and adapts, these gems, these jewels, move and adapt. None are more important than the others. All are necessary if you are to manifest the desired reality. But one of these gems is your key. I've worked with clients from around the world for many years, and this method has helped people heal deep-seated traumas, the ones we think can't heal, and then now they feel free, renewed. They feel peace. Those who have felt deep scarcity amass considerable wealth. One man even approached me at an event one time and said he had, I forget, maybe $1,000 when he'd went through one of the curriculums I had released. And now he's a multi-millionaire because he had learned how to conquer his fear. And he gave full credit to these materials. It has helped heal and save wounded relationships, and then bring forth these experiences that are amazing heart connections. It's helped end lifelong addictions and enable people to change that addictive quality to feel this connection with Divine Mother and Father. They don't need the addictions now because they feel so fulfilled. It's helped people reclaim lost or stolen power, fragments of their soul, and discover a great sense of purpose and passion. It's helped beautiful souls remove the bullies or the undermining or trickstery energies and connect with true allies. Let's be honest, at this point, if you're actually listening to me and have stayed the course thus far in this video, not jumped off to watch kittens or other things designed to distract you from actually remembering your truth, you have learned that not all friends are created equally, and you're ready for your tribe. And that is a lesson you hard earned, and I want to acknowledge that. And the most exciting part of this methodology is that one day, people have told me they just sort of wake up in the life they only dreamed of. Even yesterday, at the time I'd record this video, I received a message from a client who's more like a soul brother now. And he's like, what happened? He's like, I don't know what happened, but I woke up this morning. I've been practicing all the stuff we talked about. And he's like, all the fear is gone. He's like, is this real? Like, what's going on? Like, did you feel an energy shift? What happened? And ultimately, he simply moved through the breaking point. And so these gems work every time. These jewels, these gems, they're based on divine law, which is constant. And so also, when we want to do due diligence, right? I'm happy to prove who I am. I'm not perfect. I've made mistakes. I've called people bad names at times when my feelings have been hurt. I have challenges inside of my family. There's all these different things my personality gets to experience just like you. In no way, shape, or form am I attempting to become some sort of specialized teacher for you, but what I have offered are tools that do work. And I have scores of testimonials and thank yous from countless souls. And if you'd like proof, please go to my website, ryan-angelo.com, and check it out. But ultimately, I would ask this of you. Are you willing to be curious if you can trust that which is behind a message in a document that at the right time and the right moment found its way into your hands to give you what you've been looking for? Can you be curious about what's behind this? I'm just a ground support, bro, as I stated earlier. There's something else that truly wants us all to figure this out. Because as you embrace your ability to manifest what you desire and you walk in your truth more, guess what you're going to be manifesting? A interdependent, beautiful arrangement that brings the right people into your life at the right time, frees you from those who shouldn't be in your life, and benefits everyone. So yes, those who are invested in the well-being of humanity would like you to learn this. But it's up to you if you trust them, because let's be honest, there are a lot of tricksters out there. But truth puts it on the table and determines who's ready for it by those who act on it. This is what manifestation looks like. Subtle alignments. Each of the following 7 gems stabilize one another. They act as vital components of a proven, but often overlooked, master system. For what purpose? To help you practice remembrance, and this is important. If you haven't heard anything I've said so far, please hear this. The truth is that you are not here to learn anything new. You know quite a lot, and there are oceans of knowledge available to you. You do not need more knowledge. You need a system to help you practice remembering. Affirmation meditation is a system of reminders to help you sustain your resonance field while you attract your manifestation, instead of getting, or letting the stuff bully, undermine, and distract you into losing hope or dashing to pieces your efforts. No, we don't need that anymore. No matter what's happening, and this is exciting, no matter what's going on, one of these gems will always help you. The first gem, well, in fact, they're not in any order, are they? So one of the gems, divine strategy. Synchronicity and divine timing are visible if you know divine law. There are divine laws that show up throughout time, i.e., they are timeless, not bound to time, which means they are divine. The law of one, the law of as above, so below, the law of intention, the law of contrast, the law of cycles, the law of cause and effect, and the law of masculine and feminine are some of the examples. If you practice divine laws in a strategic manner, i.e., divine strategy, then you are guaranteed to receive your desires because it is law. However, you might receive that or something better, and this is a tricky piece in this. Sometimes something better actually does exist, and it's hard for us to wrap our minds around because obviously we don't know that it's possible or believe it's possible. We focus on the best possible thing, don't we? But if we work in alignment with divine law, we're moving towards what we think is the best possible thing, and it might be, but if it isn't, there is something better. It is simply a matter of honoring divine law, accepting the absolutes, strategically working with the laws, which is to say, swimming with the currents and not against them, noticing the synchronicities, which is to say, meaningful surprises, which happen naturally via divine timing, which are time-space alignments, and also receiving the breadcrumbs that lead to the banquet, which are the stages. A divine strategy is a centerpiece of your manifestation and your healing work. It is your map and your compass. Another gem, expanded awareness, the vital art and skill of not missing anything of importance. Can you relate to this story? A brilliant individual with a very fast-moving, high-achiever personality wanted to manifest desire. I'm talking about, I love this soul, but boy, it was like sitting next to a furnace. We spoke about this at length in sessions, and as we expanded the awareness, it was discovered that there have been many missed synchronicities and several, as in quite a few, self-sabotage moments from pushing too fast. This individual was so fast it was like a race car shooting down the highway but kept missing exits. And again, and I want to speak to this individual, I have a lot of love for you, you know who you are. Much respect for all you've achieved. But let's also remember steadiness, right? Okay, or this story. A beautiful being who this is another incredible soul. A beautiful being with a vastly compassionate soul held a great deal of space for so many others, but tended to delay her own needs. And I'm talking about someone who has lifted people up an entire lifetime, but always put off what she needed until tomorrow. But like a super divine mama here on earth with us. Unspeakably amazing soul. And as we expanded awareness and we discovered a pattern, there are many synchronistic opportunities that have been missed out on because this wonderful person continued to wait for tomorrow to be more perfect than right now. too fast or too much delay. Neither are present. Divine timing is happening when it happens, which is to say, it's happening in the now. Consider a sunset. It can't be rushed, but it can be missed. Expanded awareness enables you to be present. And if you're present, you're right on time. Another gem. Strength of confidence. Humility enough to embody the greatness moving through you. Change isn't always welcome or effortless. Sometimes others don't want you to change. Sometimes you don't subconsciously believe that things can change, because let's be honest, sometimes we've had a lot of trauma in our past and it's hard for us to believe at a deep level that is possible. Sometimes someone outside of you seems to want to block you because they don't love themselves and they don't want to see you grow. Sometimes something within you seems to want to block you. Potentially your inner child who's upset you've not been listening. Whatever, regardless of the outward or inward blocks, they exist to be overcome. Not by force, because that will never work. It'll just feed the blockage. But by support, presence, and mastery. Remember that there are 3 blocking vibrations, the bully archetype, which is forceful. It's very less than divine masculine, whether it's coming at you from a male or a female. The undermining archetype, which is manipulation, which is less than divine feminine, which is coming at you from either a male or a female. Delay, which is confusion, which is stubborn or a wounded inner child, which may be coming at you from an adult, a child, or a male or a female of any spectrum. This one is a sneaky one because it tends to bounce us back and forth between the bully and the undermine. Your strength of confidence is your ability to accept help. And when I say help, I'm talking of both air support and ground support. And I think you know what that means, because you do have quite a bit of support, as we described earlier. Also, to be as you walk your truth, to be more of who you are, and to honor the hardships you have surmounted through this life and past lives. The support, the presence that you are, and the mastery you have earned. Another gem, receiving abundance. The call compels the answer, but one must accept. Have you noticed a pattern? Oh, it's not good enough. It's not going to work. Give me what I want, Spirit. Let's do it now. Ungratitude is correlated with scarcity. Or another pattern. Oh, this is amazing. Maybe this is what it looks like when it's working perfectly. Maybe everything's happening exactly like it's supposed to right now. Wow, thank you for this. Thank you for this cool little eagle that flew past me today. Thank you for that amazing sunset. Oh, butterfly, thank you. Oh, nice person at the grocery store, thank you. Gratitude is receiving. What if this is what it looks like while it's happening? This manifestation that you've been calling in, this intention that you're bringing forth in a manifest form. What if this is what it looks like while it's happening? And your job is to prepare your receiving channel. This means being grateful for the frustrations that must come forth to beget the healing, and the breadcrumbs that lead to a banquet. And also sustaining, and this is important, sustaining a field of grateful acceptance and readiness to receive the abundance that is seeking a way to be received by you. Remember, the natural order of things is divine abundance. Those of us who've been doing spiritual work long enough have at least come to understand this conceptually. Those of us who've really been practicing have come to understand it experientially. Abundance is always going to come to you. However, that which is of abundance does not manipulate your free will, ever. Only that which is not of abundance and has agendas and wants to block tries to manipulate your free will. Divine abundance needs to find a way to be received that honors you, which means you're practicing receivership as a key piece in this equation. If your hand or your resonance field isn't open, how can you hope to receive a gift? And sometimes that gift isn't obvious. Sometimes a small breadcrumb over here leads you to breadcrumb over there, leads you to that breadcrumb, which leads you to that banquet that you didn't even see or know was there. But you had to receive those breadcrumbs. Receiving abundance, and I'm asked to relay this, noticing the eagle, noticing the little butterfly, noticing the nice person at the grocery store, helps you notice what came next, which was this incredible unfolding. simple, ridiculous example, or is it? Receiving abundance is just as important as calling it in. And you have to remember to receive. It is not always automatic. It is a skill. Another gem, the deep let go. Oh, the deep let go. Anger, trauma, and karma, they can bind you, but forgiveness frees you. The past is the past. It can harm you no more, unless it lingers, stalks, annoys, exhausts, and bothers you. Let's say hypothetically, there is a person in your life with whom you have a grievance, and this person did something that wasn't overly kind to you. And this person really hurt or enraged you. And if you have felt feelings or thoughts about this person, what are you really calling in? If the call compels the answer, and your focus has been here, what are you calling in? The past finds a way back into your life unless you accept the lesson and deeply let go of the rest. It seems hard for many of us, but consider how much more expansive your awareness, how much stronger you would feel, how much more abundance could you experience if you could deeply let go. Cue deep breath. Let's do 2 more. And just let it go. If you're holding on to denser energy, it dulls your capacity to manifest or fully blocks it. But forgiveness equals flow equals synchronicity. Another gem, your higher self reconnection. The mastery practice of only listening to your true self, the still small voice of your higher self, your I am presence, your soul, your true self, your inner hero, your other self. So many descriptions to describe a part of you that has supported you, deepened your presence, aided in your mastery. What if, and please ponder this, what if everything you have achieved, all decisions that have proved wise, and each and every moment of your great joy in your life, every single joy that has blown your mind, and you're like, wow, this is an amazing moment. All of that was because you, the awareness, the chooser, you chose to listen to this voice of your higher self. That required strength and skill. Well done. Have you witnessed, and this is fun, have you witnessed that children often teach parents a special form of patience? When a parent offers a child wisdom and sound counsel, the child tends to want to either fight this directly, either listen to friends who aren't really looking out for the child's best interest and they have their own little things going on, or the child just straight up stubborns the parent and doesn't want to listen through, fully ignoring what was offered. You know, it's kind of funny how as we age and we make our mistakes, we notice where wisdom was offered and then dismissed, and suffering could have been avoided. How many times in your life were you given exactly the right piece of guidance and you didn't listen? I don't even want to tell you how many times that happened to me. But as I've worked with lots of clients around the world, it seems to be a pattern, my friend. So you're not the only one, so don't worry. But it is a pattern that we are potentially would be in our best and highest good to let go of. Because perhaps the aspect of you that has aided you, strengthened you, and offered you truth in every situation deserves to be heard. Co-creation is not all on you. You have allies, friends, and you've got guides. Here's an important question. I would ask you to please really ponder this and sit back in your chair and just really hear this and feel into this. And really feel into it. And ask yourself, is this truth? Really tune into that inner truth within you. Because I'm not asking you to trust me blindly. I'm putting truth on a table. You have too many things out there that want what they want. Truth is truth. It just needs to be realized, recognized. Sit back and really breathe into this. Have you ever helped someone? Yes. And we thank you for it because everything ripples. What if, and see if you can envision this, what if that person you helped had a shift in focus to change how they spoke to the next person that they met? You didn't meet them, but they did. What if that conversation went in a very beneficial way thank you for doing something nice, because you alter the energy a beneficial way for that person, the person you didn't meet, who's on the cusp of a breakdown or a breakthrough. What if this person's electron field moved 1 degree into the breakthrough range instead of doing something really not beneficial for themselves or anyone else? And this person decided that they can do this. They overcome something that really needed to be overcome at that exact moment in time. And you create a ripple that sent just enough positive energy to reach this person you even know existed, to help them realize they can do this, and then it created a bigger chain. And this led to a chain of events that circled back to you on a day where you asked for a sign, because let's be honest, we've all had those days, and you really needed it. Because we've asked for signs when we've been upset and frustrated and this, that, and the other. And we've asked for it on days when it was necessary. And behold, an impossibly synchronistic and divinely timed moment arrived, and your intended manifestation came forth. But I want to also offer this caveat. If you weren't practicing receiving, this may have happened and you didn't notice it. And if this particular message really pissed you off for a second and you're like, that never happened, I'm going to ask a humble question. I'm being very humble right now. Because what do I know? I'm another human on the planet. These are divine laws. Is it possible that if this triggered you, that maybe the blessing was there, but your receivership channel wasn't open enough to receive it? But then again, divine timing has a way of kind of coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back. And so if there is this impossibly synchronistic eventuality that you're looking for, the divinely timed moment is in the process of arriving right now, and your intended manifestation is on its way in, and this is part of the journey to get you ready for it. This is not woo-woo, this is strategy. Strategy doesn't do woo-woo. Strategy is about, hey, let's apply divine law. Perhaps you can find this story corny. I did when I wrote it. I thought it was kind of ridiculous, but then I smiled and I saw truth in it, and I was shown a direct truth. Maybe, I should say, when intuition wrote it through me better. There. Maybe you can see the expansive logic within this little story. Nevertheless, we are in a oneness field. We are all connected. And as you co-create honoring divine law and oneness, you play an interdependent role in giving and receiving, because all is connected. If you decide to be a team player, you discover that you have many more allies than there are blockers. And your allies are infinitely more powerful, endlessly more loving, and unbelievably strategic. What if your higher guidance has connected you with this document right now through synchronicity and divine timing to show you these gems? And one of these gems is a missing piece for you. The Affirmation Meditation strategy is one I've taught to many souls, and these gems have always been surprisingly effective. And it's always interesting to discover which one is needed most in which moments. But all who I've taught this method to, including myself, because obviously we should only be teaching what we've learned, we've all been amazed at how unique, complete, and effective this methodology is. Probably because it's honoring divine law and working in alignment with it. If you are to have what you're calling in, and I believe you are, you have to become it. You don't manifest what you want. Wanting it can oftentimes create a sort of sense of separation, but if you embrace the desire and you accept it is already there, you're reaching that point in time and space and readiness of receivership. You understand that you manifest who you are. You have needed a system to help you deflect bullies, refuse to be undermined, and overcome delays, yes, but more so, to help you sustain the resonance of what you are calling in, to embody it. If you go to affirmationmeditation.com/strategy, there's another video that in greater depth explains how to apply the strategy. You are already manifesting. This document is a part of that process. Your higher self brought you to it in order to aid you. But what's next? Well, option one, you can fight this, resist it. We do that sometimes. You can give in to your doubts and listen to them. Oh, this can't work for me. Oh, I shouldn't trust this, whatever it might be. Or delay until tomorrow, which, let's be honest, that never arrived. Or option two, learn about the strategy behind affirmation meditation. Remember that manifestation is about becoming what you want to manifest, otherwise it arrives and you can't handle it. A 120 watt light bulb cannot handle a 240 watt light bulb. It's too much. I recall one day, and I'll share this with you because there was something I wanted to manifest in my life that I had never manifested is. And it has since then happened, but before it happened, right on the cusp, I became very frustrated. I'm sure you can relate. And so I tuned into higher guidance, and there was a very benevolent, loving guidance that offered me this question: why do you need to be happy? And I basically replied, I want this to happen. And so this guidance, this higher level of divine guidance, replied and said, so basically what you're saying is you can't be happy until the flower opens. And then guidance continues and says, do you realize you've condemned yourself to anguish every single moment prior to the moment that flower will open through only divine timing and perfect synchronicity? And the guidance continued to say, you must honor the time before just as much as the arrival of the manifestation, or you won't be ready for it. And sure enough, that time before was incredibly necessary to help me purify my energetic field, as well as reevaluate certain things and release some people from my life who aren't healthy for me, and receive some new amazing friends in order to embrace what I was calling in. And it arrived right on time. So there are plenty of things that can hinder your intention and many blocks to receiving a manifestation, but far more importantly, your higher awareness is wiser, strategic, and abundant. Hence, aligning this message for you right now. So my friend, I invite you to go to affirmationmeditation.com/strategy and act on this and put it to use today. Thank you for your time and for your presence, my friend. And may all beings everywhere be happy and free.